Hello and welcome to the GCNTech show. We've got loads this week, including a new Factor Aero bike, Conor's Gubbins of the week, a new hub design,
and our main talking point, the best bike to buy if you want to start cycling.
Let's do it. So our main talking point this week, we wanted to discuss the best bike to buy if you're a beginner just getting into cycling, or perhaps you're already an experienced cyclist, but as the weather starts to get nicer in spring, you might know someone who's looking to get into it, but they're unsure of what bike to buy.
Yeah, because there are so many different types, so many different price points as well, that it can quite quickly get confusing. So in terms of all the bikes that are available in 2025 to the consumer, and based on our massive experience of riding bikes at so many different levels here at GCN, we really wanted to try and advise people on like best takes and best things to go for.
So the bike that we would advise beginners to get is an all-road bike or a gravel bike.
Yeah, 100%.
Preferably an aluminium.
100%. The reasons why is primarily a road bike, has drop handlebars, but there are a few key features which make it more versatile, more comfortable, more practical, and I guess more intimidating.
Well, no, less intimidating.
Yeah, less intimidating, sorry, to someone who's just coming out cycling.
Yeah, and the first key difference is with this kind of bike over a standard road bike, you're going to have increased tyre clearance, significantly so, meaning that you can fit much wider tyres. And these days, typically, even like 40mm tyres. On a normal road bike, 30mm is sort of the maximum you can fit, and that has a big impact.
Yeah, this adds more comfort. It also adds more grip as well, when you're off-road especially, but also at the same time, that those like they're strong points to have on the road as well when you're just getting into cycling, when you're just getting used to riding a drop handlebar bike. And that extra confidence can make you feel much more at home when you're riding.
Skinny tyres can be pretty intimidating. The other big thing is the geometry difference of this kind of bike. Typically, an all-road bike or gravel bike has more relaxed geometry than a dedicated road bike. What this means is that the front end is a bit taller and the top tube length of the bike is a bit shorter, which allows you to just sit a bit more upright. And for a beginner, that's more comfortable, but also it is just a little bit more confidence inspiring as well, again, in terms of the handling. When you're really aggressive and hunched over, yeah, again, a bit more intimidating.
Yeah, another key point I think as well about all-road and gravel bikes, which might be sometimes is like overlooked, is the gearing, because these bikes often come stocked as standard with like easier gearing. Primarily if you're off-road, often steeper climbs, you want that.
Yeah, it makes hills easier.
Yeah, but like where we're based here, such steep climbs around the place, and you're like typical road gearing is actually too hard. There's plenty of places around the world.
Especially for a beginner.
Yeah, and you want that. You want to be able to spin. You don't want to feel like you're coming to kind of the edge of your tether on the road where you're like struggling to keep the pace going. If you have that easy gear, it's easier, but it also means your bike handling is vastly improved and you feel more confident on climbs.
Yeah. The other thing, I guess, with this kind of bike is they're typically more practical as well.
Yeah, that is a big shout as well, because that extra clearance is not just for tyres, but often you find with all-road or gravel bikes, there's mounting points, so you can easily fit mud guards on the bike, making it a more practical bike to get to and from places. There's often mounting points to fit bags too.
Gubbins.
Like, bags.
Of course, you blooming love it. Sticking gubbins all over your bike.
So you get
Conor loves gubbins.
Pannier racks, frame-mounted bags, whatever you want to go for, like it is easier, let's face it.
You make a good point, yeah.
On an all-road bike or a gravel bike.
Yeah, I always, laugh and joke about you with this, but you are right. I think the other thing, though, is to point out that the effect of all of this, the wider tyres, the more relaxed geometry, and the fact that you can festoon gubbins to your bike, is that it's going to make it a bit heavier, it's going to make it a bit less aero, and it's going to be a slightly slower bike. Now, these things are marginal, and in real terms for a beginner, they're inconsequential if you're not racing. And most beginners are not racing. And if you just want to get out and you want to enjoy cycling and you want to have adventures and ride in incredible places and get fitter, which is what most people want to do when they go start riding a bike, then you don't need to worry about any of that stuff. Like, just get out. It doesn't matter what bike you're on, the view is the same.
Yeah. I'd say the next stepping stone from that someone would potentially think about in their journey in cycling as they're getting going is maybe like starting to ride in a group though. So like starting to ride in a bigger group. So maybe not a competitive pace, but like pushing on a little bit more and being in the slipstream and getting used to that group dynamic. And an all-road bike ride is still fine for this. Like all those points you just said about it being inconsequential for a beginner, I think that's still the case. You can still go on to narrower tyres.
Yep, you can put a narrower tyre on, that's going to be faster.
Yeah.
That's going to make the most difference.
Yeah, and still have all the same experiences that you would in that group setting. I think, like you said, it's as soon as you go beyond that and you start pushing more competitively, looking to ride for faster paces for longer, that's when it's time to start potentially thinking about a road bike, if that's where predominantly you're riding.
And that's the other point to make. Like what we're saying here is what's the best bike that covers and ticks the most boxes for a beginner, someone getting into cycling. The important point to make is that this doesn't have to be the only bike you ever buy, you ever own. You can sell it, or you can buy another one, or you can do whatever you want. And what you tend to find is that as people become more confident at cycling and they get more into it, they start to specialise a bit more and think, I actually like the idea of maybe doing some racing, or maybe I want to do some time trialling, or maybe I want to do more gravel and get a full-on like gravel setup, or maybe even a mountain bike. And there's a lot of other sports that kind of mirror this. It's like, like with skiing, it's like the gravel bike or all-road bike is like an all-mountain ski. But if you've got really good at off-piste, you'd want a dedicated powder ski. It's like, it's the same sort of thing. And so, if you end up wanting an aero bike down the line, you can always get one. Yeah. But I wouldn't wade in and get something like that straight away.
Exactly. And going
it's
for
a more
that
specialist tool.
Yeah, and going for that bike, which is more versatile, allows you to explore more avenues and to kind of figure out what you enjoy doing more on the bike and what's maybe like the best sort of riding near where you live.
What you enjoy.
Yeah.
I think the other thing that's important to talk about for people is what we would advise in terms of the level of equipment that they go for as a beginner and like what, sort of price you should be paying. Because again, there's so much out there and it's hard to disseminate, So I would say, mentioned it earlier, an aluminium frame or an aluminium alloy frame is really good for a beginner, more than you'll need. Really capable. Yes, carbon fibre is lighter, but it's also a lot more expensive. And it's a little bit more prone to damage and impact damage, like cracks and knocks and
accidental damage.
Yeah. Whereas aluminium's a bit more forgiving. And for a beginner who might, drop their bike or knock it over or whatever, you're not used to it, then that's something that's really useful as well.
Yeah, can take a bit of a beating.
Yeah. And I think the other big area to look at is the components that come on a bike. So this is known as the group set if you're a beginner, primarily. Now they come in different tiers and levels. The mid-tier range, that's we've always called it the group set of the people. Shimano 105, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And I would wholeheartedly recommend Shimano 105 mechanical for a beginner if their budget stretches for it. But it's not the most affordable option. It's mid-tier, but it offers the best kind of like bang for buck in terms of price and performance. If your budget stretches to it, I'd go 105. But if it doesn't,
there's also, lower tier options which are still really, really good quality. You've got like Shimano Tiagra. There's also emerging brands, Microshift, El-Twu.
Yeah, from China.
Yeah, you had a look at
stuff.
Yeah, you had a look at their products recently.
Yeah,
in
and
Taipei.
a lot more affordable. And then the other big thing that should not be overlooked is the used market.
Yeah,
because there's so much good stuff out on the used market. Now, it's too much to dive into here in this video, but we've done a lot of videos in the past with loads of hopefully useful advice on how to get a good bike used and what to look for. So yeah, they're on the channel. Check them out.
Yeah. There's some amazing deals out there in used second-hand bikes, isn't there?
Yeah.
I can't get off looking sometimes. I have to stop myself.
Yeah. But I think the main thing I would focus on as a beginner is comfort, versatility, and something that works, but it doesn't have to be amazing because you're just getting into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let us know what you think in the comment section down below, though. What was your first bike? What got you into cycling? Mine was actually just like my dad's bike lying in the shed. I just used to pick it up and just start riding it. It was like an old touring bike.
Yeah.
And then I managed to blag a more road bike, racer bike off an auntie or an uncle. Can't remember. Maybe it was both. But yeah, let us know in the comments what you think and what bike you may be thinking of getting yourself.
It's time now for Hot Tech, and we're going to kick things off with a new bike from Factor. So this is called the Monza, right? And according to the headline is that it delivers elite level performance for serious road racers. So they're saying that it blends high performance with everyday practicality. So it takes a load of the aero features from the Ostrovam, which is their top of the range aero bike. So it's got like aerodynamic front end, and a lot of the tube profiles look quite similar. But it's also simplified the construction and made it less complex to reduce the overall cost. Sounds good.
Yeah.
And it's also got a bit more practicality built into it as well. So they've got integrated frame storage in the down tube, like a swap box, like that's on your Enduro Race.
Yep.
Proper useful feature.
I think these are such a good feature.
They're really good, aren't they?
Bikes in general, yeah.
Yeah. It also has bigger tyre clearance, so 34mm, which is good for like an aero bike. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's got an integrated aero bar and stem called the HBO5, and they said it's got improved comfort as well over like an Ostrovam, which, interesting. And they've also tweaked the geometry. So a bit like what we were saying about with the all-road bike, it's a little bit more relaxed.
Okay.
So it's got a higher front end slightly higher front end than a sort of dedicated low-down aero bike. I don't have info on pricing yet, but based around what they're saying about it, I'm going to assume that it's a more affordable bike than the Ostrovam. It's available in 6 sizes and 3 different colours.
Nice, good
looks
stuff.
pretty cool, and it comes with Stramforce or Ultegra group sets. Yeah, it looks cool. Next up, though, right, a comment from last week from Dr. Scoot, who said, there should be a Conor's Cool Stuff segment in every GCNTech show. I think he means Conor's Gubbins.
Well, thanks for I like this.
The people have spoken, Conor, because that got 120 thumbs up, that comment.
Oh, thanks, everyone.
So we listen to you guys.
Right.
Conor, give us some Gubbins.
Well, I'll do it every time I'm in. I mean, if you want, I could do it every week. I could just send it in.
I mean, I don't want
that. I'll do
it's
that.
Not all about what I want.
Yeah.
The public want it.
We're in.
The viewers want it.
Right, kicking off Conor's Gubbins of the week.
Yeah, what we got?
So this, I'm not sure. I think I tried to get this in the tech show with Alex once, and he made me take it out.
Of course he did.
So I apologise if it did make it in.
He's not here now. He's recovering from sea otter. So while he's doing that, what have you got for us?
It was one of these days when I was banging on about this all day at GCN HQ. So if it did make the tech show already, there's apologies, but I don't think it did. This is called the Mokka to go. So it's basically like your standard Mokka pot that you put on the stove, you make your coffee with. Oh. So it's been designed by a cyclist, a guy called Sven Jan Hiltbrand. It's surpassed its Kickstarter goal. It's raised over $50,000.
Right.
So everyone else thinks it's a good idea, as well as me.
Why is it a Mokka pot for cyclists?
So it fits in your bottle cage. So it's a bottle shape. So it goes in your bottle cage perfectly. So when you're bike packing, camping, it's like really easy to carry. Which is one of the issues I've found to get good coffee when you're camping. It's quite cumbersome.
This is right up your street.
Yeah. So
I can see why you like that.
There's been a lot of thought going into it as well to get your brew right.
I mean, yeah,
tweak your settings.
I can see it there.
So, I mean, that's neat. That's an amazing bit of tech.
Yeah,
beautiful. So yeah, you can adjust the pressure of a few little nudges. Get a nice little coffee when you're out on your bike packing trip, or not even when you're bike packing, just on a normal ride. Just bring it out.
Bike packing, it's acceptable. On a normal ride, that's Gubbins.
Why not?
It's just Gubbins.
I bring my stove in my pocket.
If someone submits a picture of their bike to the Bike Vault with that on,
they'll get super nice.
No, they won't.
They will.
Gubbins.
They will when I'm on the show.
Right, brilliant. Thanks for that, Conor. We've got a new hub as well that we've spotted.
Yeah, this is interesting. This is I'd never even have thought of this as a thing.
Yeah. So this is called the Fasten switch.
Yeah.
And they've got a video up on YouTube demonstrating the product. So the advantage of this system is it means you can more easily and quickly take out your wheel. And it uses a sort of through-axle design, but it keeps the disc rotor and the cassette in the bike, and then the rest of the wheel comes out with like a narrower hub.
And this means you can use your rear and your front wheel. It's like the rear and front is interchangeable, I'm pretty sure.
It would allow for that sort of thing, yeah.
Because it's both like... It's an interesting idea. I just wonder, like,
it
to
could
me...
mean faster wheel changes.
It could be very fast wheel changes, but surely there's more power loss in that system.
Potentially. I think with this kind of system, you're going to struggle a bit in terms of the sort of load and the interfaces, because you've got now more interfaces in there. So you're going to potentially have sort of less stiffness across that axle of the wheel, and maybe creaking. Maybe that's going to be a problem of the sort of creaking between those interfaces, between the wheel and then the rotor and the on the other side, the cassette.
I mean, we're merely
speculating.
Guessing. Yeah, we're merely speculating, but it's an interesting idea.
It's an interesting idea, and quicker wheel changes could be pretty cool, especially in race situations.
Yeah. Pretty out of the box.
Yeah,
I must admit.
Pretty cool. But yeah, I'm really keen to think what the viewers think. The other big advantage is you have then more universal compatibility. So it almost like, from a sort of a neutral service perspective, I mean, this doesn't affect a huge number of people, but imagine in a race, if they all had that system, whether you were on whatever group set, if the spacing's the same, then it doesn't matter whether you're on Campag, SRAM, Shimano, whatever.
Race like Paris-Roubaix, it could be a big advantage.
Yeah.
You have so many wheel changes, just...
Yeah. It's
nice.
Interesting. Right, what have we got next?
Well, this nearly made it into Gubbins of the week, because I think it's not Gubbins. It's a beautiful action camera, but it's a bit different from my usual kind of hot tech.
Yeah.
I think it deserves a mention. Insta360 got a new camera. Yep, so this is the Insta360 X5. So it's a new upgrade, new model.
So we've got the X4.
Yeah, so we've been using the X4 out filming, and I've got to say, it's been pretty cool to use. It's been getting some nice shots in some pretty tricky situations.
We got some good stuff in Taiwan.
Yeah. So the X5 is like an upgrade on the camera that we've had. So now you can get interchangeable lenses. Because one of the problems with 360 cameras is the lens can be quite bulbous in shape, so it can be prone to damage. So now the X5, if you do damage it, you can take the lens off and on, change it up. It's got an improved sensor. Also, it's now got a built-in like wind mic on the camera too.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you've got the wind noise when you're riding along.
Yeah.
Limiting.
They've also updated a few other features. There's like a magnetic clamp, so you can easily get it on and off just by a magnet, which is similar to what we see on other action cameras too. These are becoming increasingly popular among cyclists. Yeah.
I watched Alex's Sea Otter video, right? And he used the Go 3. So I've got some Gubbins for my bike.
Here we go.
So I've got one of these, which is a little mount for the Go 3, which is absolutely tiny. And I'm going to fit it on the front of my bike because Cy and I are going to be doing the Fred Whitton Challenge, which is on the 11th of May in the Lake District in England. And this is like, it's a great event. I've not done it since like 2018, but it's blooming great.
I've seen a lot of people using these in races because they're so they managed to get into the box quicker than I did.
There we go.
But yeah, it's like so small that it's almost like even quite like performance orientated riders
well, that's it.
who I'd have normally thought of like turning their nose up at using any extra weight on their bike.
So this isn't the camera, but this is the.
Probably should have got Ollie to open this before we started recording the show, people. I'm sorry.
My Gubbins.
Ollie's not used to handling Gubbins. Right, he's into it now.
So that you can see how small it is because that's the little nodule, the little case that it goes in. So you can either mount it like that, or you can mount it like that. So I'm going to mount it like that, just under my out front mount on my Pinarello.
Yeah. It's crazy how far the tech's gone in the world of action cameras. Like I remember playing around with them when I was still racing, and I found some of the footage recently, and it's just night and day in the space of like less than 10 years. It's crazy. There you go. Ollie's into Gubbins.
No, steady on. A quick bit of Silca news. So their electric inflator that we spoke about before, that's just coming out now. It's actually come out this week, but at the moment, not available in the US. So 2 sizes, a more compact one for like your jersey pocket, and then a slightly beefier, bigger one with a big battery, more inflation power. But that not available in the US because of the tariffs. Hopefully that situation changes.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Nice holiday to Mexico. You never know.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We've got competition news.
Yeah,
from
competition. Redshift. Yeah, running. Get involved in the link below. This is Redshift, so you can win pretty much a whole handlebar bundle, really, if you win this one. So you got a handlebar Redshift bar of your choice. So that's like the kitchen sink or top shelf bar, which me and Ollie recently used. Also bar tape grips, handlebar bag, and a shock stop pro stem thrown in there too. It's running until the 2nd of May, so don't miss this one. What's that? It's like just under a week, about a week to go.
Yeah, completely free to enter. Just click on the link in the description below. It'll take you to the giveaways page, and then you fill in your details.
Good luck, everyone.
Yeah. And also a bit of Zwift news as well. So we're still running our weekly Zwift rides, so you can ride with us guys. And next one's on the 30th of this month. And Zwift also have a new crank option for the Zwift ride.
Yeah.
Which is really cool because it's got different length crank options on it.
Yeah, really cool this. So,
that is really cool.
Originally you could only use 170, it came as stock on the Zwift ride. So now you've got like quite a big array actually. So it's going from 160 all the way to 175.
The mega thing with this is like not only does it cater to different people's crank length preferences using the same indoor bike, but also it means that if you wanted to try out a different crank length without having to buy a crank set for your bike, you can try out whatever sort of within, that range, whatever crank length you want.
Yeah.
So you could try 165 and see if you get on with it.
Yeah.
Which is cool, isn't it?
Yeah,
so
100%.
Before you do that, so that's good. And there's also some new cobbled roads in Zwift, or 8 new cobbled roads that connect up the existing roads in Zwift France. There you go. More hot tech next week.
Comments of the week now, starting with last week's show. This was sent in by Phil Dillmore. Credit to Ollie and Conor for demonstrating a deeper understanding of tariffs and their effects in slightly under 17 minutes than Donald Trump has acquired in nearly 80 years.
Thanks. Kind of. Well, yeah, it was a lot of good comments under last week's show. And I think we managed to say things that were factually reasonable. Yeah.
Still kind of stands.
Yeah.
Not much has changed since then.
No. But yeah, hopefully the situation sorts itself out.
Yeah, that's still the same.
Also, last week Alex was at the Sea Otter show. So he rode the Sea Otter Classic, the gravel race in the elite race. He did really well. He beat Tom Dumoulin and Nico Roche.
There you go. He's in flying form, isn't he? Serious.
Well, he didn't do as well as he wanted, but that's blooming good. Like, fair play, Alex.
I think that's going well. I think he's on the right track. Still a month till I'm bound.
Yeah. He's doing well. But he also did a load of tech videos out there, which was great. Bengt Axel said, UDH is everywhere. It may be the biggest innovation since the Campagnolo quick release. Kind of UDH hang. You know what UDH is? Yeah? It's blooming, yeah. It is like coming everywhere. It's like T47 bottom brackets just seem to come on every new bike now.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, if more things become standardised, I'm always for it.
Yeah.
Next one.
The Chindo Boy said, that topic valve is very cool. And I tend to agree.
Yeah. It's like, I think more of a big deal should have been made about that toe peak valve. I really do. Like, being able to, I mean, it just means that if you're using like basically, if you've not seen it, it's a valve that allows more airflow. It's more efficient than a normal Presta valve. They've kind of like redesigned and improved a Presta valve, right? And it means that more airflow goes through, so that if you're using just a little hand pump, that's now more efficient than it was, like a lot more efficient than what it was, previously with a just normal Presta valve. Or, if you're using a big pump, you can just inflate your tyres more quickly. It's like a little thing that just improves your life. I'm Yeah,
All down for that.
I'm looking forward to getting some of those valves.
Yeah, me too. I'm
Definitely.
getting them on my bikes. Why this tech disappeared on this video? This was when Alex was talking about why oval chain rings have kind of like disappeared. From like mainstream.
Yeah. So there were loads of comments under this video. Nothing about the content of the video, but all about a sort of lighting editing feature technique in the video. So I'll read one of them out. Mark Smith said, some editor discovered light leaks and went crazy. Can that editor tell us where this effect came from without consulting the internet? That light leak editing is horrible. If you don't want us to look at the subject matter, then don't show it at all. From Random Man. I mean, there's loads of these, right? So, they all got a lot of likes. We've taken it on board. Yeah, it's all good. It's all good.
I was the editor.
But there were some also comments under that video, which is I really wanted to bring up, because I didn't know this and I found it really interesting. So an example is this one from Coon Paul, or Cooney Paul, who says mountain bikers are commonly using oval chain rings. It's a one-by system, so there's no issues with shifting between the front chain rings.
Yeah.
Good point. And the main benefit of the oval chain rings are during the slow cadence situations like very steep climbs and where you've got poor surface traction suddenly becoming smoother, more evenly distributed power curve comes into its own. So you don't get that like slippage of the rear wheel, I'm guessing, or it mitigates it. I think that's really interesting. He says mountain bikers use them, report less wheel spin and can get up climbs with less leg burn, typically with a gear or two left in reserve compared to a round chainring.
Interesting.
I think that the issue with road riding is that high speeds and high cadence is not where oval chainrings shine. I think that's really interesting because thanks for that and all the other people who commented saying similar things.
Yeah.
Good
Maybe
to
we should
know.
dig into it again on the old gravel bike.
Worth a look, eh? Right, bike vault.
Bike vault time. Where's that bell?
There it is. Right.
Should we get into it?
Yeah, this is where you submit pictures of your bikes, and then we judge them to either be nice or super nice. If they're super nice, Conor's going to ring the bell. And you can submit them using the link to the uploader, which is in the description below. Right.
Yeah.
What have we got?
So, first up, this has been sent in by Russ Clark. I bought a 1994 Cannondale R400 in 2015. Over the years, has transitioned from one iteration to another, finally finding its identity as a fixed gear in my flotilla. I painted the frame and carbon fork with different geometric patterns. It's cool, this. So I've geometric patterns, flat black and a reflective clear coat. I also had custom reflective frame stickers printed and then scoured the web for the rest of the parts. Gearing is 5317
Gold
on
chain.
170mm cranks on a gold chain. That is blooming cool.
It's blooming amazing.
Isn't
I love
it?
that custom paint job you've done. That's so blooming cool.
Yeah, I love it.
I
It's
really like the grey bit as well, though. Like on the top tube and down tube, it's like that sort of. Oh yeah, I really like that as well.
It's just really, really cool. And whenever I see a bike like this, it really makes me want to get a single speed.
It's true it's true to Cannondale as well, because that logo that he's done it in the Berserker green, which is like the Cannondale colour. So I really rate that. The only little thing that I'm going to flag on this, you know what it is? You know what I'm going to say?
Well, I flagged this. The image is cropped.
That
got me.
I'm letting that slide.
Yeah.
Chimney.
You can let him off for that.
Chimney.
You might want to go up in the winter.
If we let it slide,
I think you can let the chimney slide.
I think
The chimney slide.
super nice.
Super nice, yeah.
F Good Biker is next. They've got a Trek Checkpoint gravel bike with GRX Di2 on it that they've put together. What do you make of that?
Like this.
Well, of course you're going to like this.
Looks like Apogee bag.
Blooming Gubbins Central.
For a big day out, like minimal bags. Nice.
That's just you riding like 5 minutes down the hill to work.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, that pretty much. Bit of a like angle on it. Bluebell's behind.
Yeah.
But I think that's all right. I think
that's a nice. I'm nice in that. That's a nice.
Super nice?
No, it's a nice. That's a nice.
Nice top
chimney.
Tube. Good top tube bag on it though.
Yeah.
Good. Good.
That's a nice.
Okay. Moving on.
Can't let too much gubbins slip through the net.
It's the World Champs bike course as well, isn't it?
No to the hill.
No to the Hill. This is a CAD 12. Bought a frame that's seen better days. Custom painted myself with a chameleon green and bronze and white scheme. Shimano Ultegra Reynolds AR41s. Now thinking it needs a gold chain. Oh, look at that.
That is good, isn't it? Custom painted
nice.
as well.
Yeah.
Wow, another bike, another Cannondale that someone's then sort of upcycled. Yeah.
This is a dangerous show because it's really making me want to do it myself too.
Is it?
Yeah.
You should do. Yeah, you should do. Yeah, I'm into that.
I've actually found myself in an alley cat race next month.
Have you?
So it's the perfect excuse.
Yeah.
I found myself in it. I've got no I can't back out now.
Who against?
Well, I'm yet to find out.
What?
Yet to find out.
In Bath, in the mean
No,
alleys
in the
of
capital,
Bath?
in the capital of the UK.
What? London?
London, yeah. So I need a bike for the job.
Right.
But I'm super nice in this.
Yeah,
back on
that's
track.
super nice. Who we got next?
This has been sent in by JJH297. A Rondo Rut with many upgrades. Not in perfect display condition, but was halfway through an epic down the gravel bike around Kaiserslautern, Germany.
Kaiserslautern.
We got that right.
Slautern. Kaiserslautern.
Euro Gravel is the dog's danglies. No shadow stand or Photoshop here, just a stout German stick. So let's have a look at this. Just loading the photo.
Biggie big.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
It's good though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is big, and there is a very stout German stick involved, but it's good. I like this bike a lot.
I think
Mountain Point. You know what I've just noted on this bike?
It's got a frame pump.
It's got a frame pump. Do you know what else it's got?
What?
Which is going to get it super nice. This is ultimate Gubbins right now. Let's see if Ollie can spot it.
What, on the... Oh, yeah.
It's got a bottle opener.
It's got a bottle opener. Do you know what? I'm going to say it's acceptable Gubbins.
That is acceptable Gubbins. That's good.
That's acceptable
I'm getting out my bike.
Yeah.
That's blooming amazing. Super nice that.
Yeah. All right.
Here we go.
Right. Cumbria 72 has a Lux 785 Huez with Ultegra, 12-speed Di2, fast-forward wheels. DT Swiss 240 hubs on there as well. What do you make of that?
That's nice.
Bluebells out here as well.
A lot of bluebells around the world.
They're popping
Good
up.
to see.
They've aligned the tyres. It's very clean.
I'd like to have seen a
Looks
bit
like
more.
there's a shadow stand, mate. No, is that?
I'd like more contrast. It's a bit. It's quite hard to see the detail in the frame.
It is. It's not the best backdrop.
Yeah.
But it's not the best backdrop. But the bike is well presented.
Well presented.
Clean cassette.
Hard to fault.
Tyres and wheels aligned.
Yeah.
No, the gubbins has been stripped off. I think we can supernice that.
Super nice that in there. John B. Munich, Bianchi Specialissima Pro, Ultegra Di2, Velo Man carbon wheels, look here, max pedals. There we go. Beautiful.
It looks like there's a really nice background, but instead they've put it against this little bit of wall of like fence.
Bin storage.
Like the bin storage area.
But, I mean,
Yep.
it's nice wood.
Yep.
I think that's a super nice as well. Clean lines. I like the low profile wheels.
Yeah.
I think that complements the frame actually.
I think that looks good, doesn't it?
Yeah, I also like the lines on this frame.
Yeah,
how it
does
goes
it?
from the top to bottom, from front to back.
Yeah.
know
I've
what I
not
mean?
seen too many of these new Specialissimas yet, but yeah, it does look pretty smart.
That's nice. Oh, yeah, it's a beautiful bike.
I think it goes super nice. All right, steady on. Gee, whoa, steady on there.
Sorry. Am I going?
Right, well, that's all we've got time for this week.
Yeah. Good show. Good
Yeah.
bikes in there. Likes
Yeah.
that. Thanks for your uploads. Don't forget to send them in as well so we can get them in the show next week potentially. I'm going to go and look for a bottle opener to put on my bike.
Let us know what you thought of Conor's Gubbins.
Yeah.
And
And if you want it to be a continuous affair, I will oblige.
Yeah.
Quite happily.
subscribe. Love you. Bye.